Shalom, beloved family. It's your girl Sophia Spiritualite, and we're here with another Bible lesson. Of course, we pulled Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John chapters 7 through 12 a bunch of times, and so I said I would go through and do uh, read those chapters aloud, basically, so people can just hear what they have to say and keep it moving and get the knowledge and get the drop. So. Here today we're going to do John chapter 7, um, and I use the King James Version online. After these things, Jesus walked in Galilee, for he would not walk in Jewry, because the Jews sought to kill him. Now the Jews' feast of tabernacles was at hand. His brethren therefore said unto him, Depart hence, and go into Judea, that thy disciples may also see the works thou doest. For there is no man that doeth anything in secret, and he himself seeketh to be known openly. If thou do these things, show thyself to the world. Neither did his brethren believe in him. Then Jesus said unto them, My time is not yet come, but your time is always ready. The world cannot hate you, but me it hateth, because I testify of it that the works thereof are evil. Go ye unto this feast. I go not unto I go not up yet unto this feast, for my time is not yet full come. When he said these things unto them, he abode still in Galilee. But when his brethren were gone up, then he went also unto the feast, not openly, but as it were in secret. Then the Jews sought him at the feast and said, Where is he? And there was much murmuring among the people concerning him. For some said, He is a good man. Others said, Nay, but he deceiveth the people. Howbeit no man spoke openly of him for fear of the Jews. Now, about the midst of this feast, Jesus went up into the temple and taught. And the Jews marveled, saying, How knoweth this man, having never learned? And Jesus answered them and said, My doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. If any man will do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of God, or whether I speak of myself. He that speaketh of himself seeketh his own glory, but he that seeketh his glory that sent him, the same is true, and no unrighteousness is in him. Did not Moses give you the law? And yet none of you keepeth the law. Why go ye about to kill me? The people answered and said, Thou hast a devil. Who goeth about to kill thee? Jesus answered and said unto them, I have done one work, and ye all marvel. Moses therefore gave unto you circumcision, not because it is of Moses, but of the fathers. And ye on the Sabbath day circumcise a man. If a man on the Sabbath day receives circumcision, that the law of Moses should not be broken, are ye angry at me, because I have made a man every whit whole on the Sabbath day? Judge not according to appearance, but judge righteous judgment. Then said some of them of Jerusalem, Is not this he whom they seek to kill? But lo, he speaketh boldly, and they say nothing unto him. Do the rulers know indeed that this is the very Christ? Howbeit, we know this man whence he is, but when Christ cometh, no man knoweth whence he is. Then cried Jesus in the temple as he taught, saying, Ye both know me, and ye know whence I am. And I am not come of myself, but he that sent me is true, whom ye know not. But I know him, for I am from him, and he hath sent me. Then they sought to take him, but no man laid his hands on him, because his hour was not yet come. And many of the people believed on him, and said, When Christ cometh, will he do more miracles than these which this man have done? The Pharisees heard the people murmured such things concerning him, and the Pharisees and the chief of priests sent officers to take him. Then said Jesus unto him, Yet a little while I am with you, and then I go unto him that sent me. Ye shall seek me, and shall not find me, and where I am, thither ye cannot come. Then said the Jews among themselves, Whither will he go, that we shall not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed among Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? What manner of saying is this, that he said, Ye shall seek me and shall not find me, and where I am, thither ye cannot come? In the last day, that great day of the feast, Jesus stood and cried, saying, If any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. He that believeth on me, as the scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. But he spake, but this he spake, but this spake he of the Spirit, which they that believed on him should receive. For the Holy Ghost was not yet given, because that Jesus was not yet glorified. Many people, therefore, when they heard this saying, said, of a truth, this is the prophet. Others said, This is the Christ. But some said, Shall Christ come out of Galilee? Have not scripture said that Christ cometh of the seed of David, and out of the town of Bethlehem where David was? So there was division among the people because of him. And some of them would have taken him, but no man laid hands on him. Then came the officers to the chief priests and Pharisees, and they said unto him, Why have ye not brought him? The officers answered, Never man spake like this man. And then answered them the Pharisees, Are ye also deceived? Have any of rulers of the Pharisees believed on him? But this, but this people who knoweth not the law are cursed. Nicodemus saith unto him, Nicodemus saith unto them, He that came to Jesus by night, being one of them, doth our law judge any man before it hear him, and know what he doeth? They answered and said unto him, Art thou also of Galilee? Search and look, for out of Galilee ariseth no prophet. And every man went unto his own house. Selah. Okay, so this is this story is not told in anybody else's book. Let me just start with this. We have read Matthew, Mark, and Luke. We have not seen this story about the feast. And we know that who was it that likes to eat? I think it's Mark. We know Mark likes to eat, so he would talk about anything food related. So we have not heard about this particular story, like I said, in anybody else's book. So let's go back. It's a lot of stuff in here. This is no joke. Okay, so um first of all, he would not walk in Jewry. What is Jewry exactly? That sounds like a place. That that does not sound like it does not sound like it's referring to Israel. It sounds like it's referring to a different group of people. So I don't think I've ever seen, not in the Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John 7 and chapter 7 and 8, or I mean, I haven't really any seen where they described it as Jewry. So that's something interesting, because I think that we need to look at the fact that some of our feasts are not really even our feasts. It's the feast of the Jewry, not the feast of Israel. And so we have to look at some of our stuff and say, is this a something that the Jews took up amongst themselves, or is this something that Israel took up? Just something to throw that out there. So then he tells them, Y'all go to the feast without me. I'm not going because it's not time for me to die yet. And he makes them go, and then he turns around and goes. This is the most, I swear, sometimes these stories make Jesus look like he is completely insane, because he gonna tell them to go. He's like, no, I'm not gonna go because I don't want. It's not time for me to be killed yet. So he sends them on, and then he basically goes solo by himself. He doesn't want. I think he doesn't want them to be associated with him. He doesn't want them to have to deal with what he's going to have to deal with. So he puts some distance in between himself and even his own team, his own people. So, sometimes when our people, you know, do these things, maybe there's some other kind of reason, but he literally put some space between himself and his own followers, and then he went and did something that I guess only John knew about because he's the only one who talks about this. So maybe he didn't send all of them, but he sent the rest of them, right? Okay, so all right, let's look at the next page. Let's see. He literally told them to go when he was still in Galilee. Okay, so I guess he lived in Galilee, right? And that comes up because they said the Christ is going to come out of Bethlehem, not of Galilee. So he was like sort of confusing them by not coming from the place that the alleged Christ said they were going to come from. And I just want to point that out because, you know, you can't judge somebody based on where they're from. You have to look at their spirit. You have to look at what they said. And because the Pharisees could not look at what the man was saying and say, this is a Christ, they were so caught up in the law and the testaments and the exact prophecies being exact that they could not see that the prophecies were being carried out in a way that was not the exact way that they expected them to be. And so I think that's with us, a lot of our blessings, it comes in ways that we don't expect. It's not what we were thinking. It didn't happen in a way that we wanted, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. And so just keep in mind that even Yahushua, when he went in a way that they weren't expecting. They did not know what to do. So in the midst of the feast, Jesus went over to the temple and taught. So basically, he was talking bad about these people, especially the Pharisees and the Sadducees, right? But not the Essenes. As he never mentions the Essenes at all, so that's a point that will have to be discussed later. But he's talking bad about the Pharisees and the Sadducees. He's telling all kinds of stuff. He tells the other disciples, "Go ahead on without me. It's not time for me to go yet. Y'all go ahead and do y'all thing." Then he's like, "Man, F this. I'm going up there. I'm going in the middle of this feast. I'm going to go ahead and preach this word because that's what the Father said." And I assume that, you know, what we don't see is maybe an angel or the Father spoke to him and said, "You better go to that feast. Are you crazy? It's not time for you to go, but you have to go right now." And so he ended up going, and he's saying, he the way he was talking, because he came from Galilee and not from Bethlehem, the people were trying to figure out again. You see that on the next page, on this page right here, who he was, because he was not he was not one of the Pharisees or the Sadducees. So according to them, he had no education. He had not been taught. But we all know that he had been taught. He'd been taught by the Essenes, and he had been indoctrinated into a few different things. So he had a lot of education. But because he didn't have their education come from their schools that they approved, they thought, "Oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just a crazy person." Right? And so he talks about this circumcision thing because he made somebody whole. So it's spiritually whole, you know what I mean? And so like that was a whole thing with them. They had so many rules about how this could be done and how that could be done and all of this and all of that. And again, if you did something that was out of order from what they said, then they punished you. And that's how it is in America. If you do something that's out of order that they say, then they will punish you. Meanwhile, they don't follow any of their rules, and that's something he calls them out on. You know, he calls them out on that. Like, how are y'all going to be mad at me for not doing certain things when y'all never do the stuff y'all are supposed to do? That's crazy. That's crazy. So, um, and he talks a few times about he's going to go unto him that sent me. So again, I don't think Yahushua had the plan of going to this event, but I think the Most High told him he had to go and do his thing. Like, this is what you got to do. You already sent the disciples on. You thought that was a good idea because you knew the time was not here. But listen, you're going to have to go to this thing and do what I told you to do. And he was just like, oh my goodness, man, I sent these fools without me, this and that. And he ended up having to go and had to and it said it so many times that it's clear that he had not planned on going. Like, he was just going to stay and chill and let them go to the feast, and he was going to stay away and not get involved with these crazy people. But what did he have to do? He had to go. And sometimes, the Most High will tell you have to go and get involved with a bunch of two-thirds in the mist and who not, and whoever and whatnot, and you just got to go and get involved with them and speak the word, and you don't know why, but that's just what the case is. You got to go. So, verse 24 here says, judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment, meaning you should judge people by their heart and by their actions and by what they're saying. You can't judge according to their appearance. Like, when you come into the court, you look like you're supposed to lose, so you're gonna lose and whatnot. We are not supposed to judge people like that. We're supposed to listen to what they have to say and judge them based on that. And I had said this in another video that I had done, but there's a lot of other people who are on this enlightened path who are advancing, and we need to advancing for the for the to subdue the earth, and the people who are on the path of subduing the earth, let me put it that way. And we need to recognize those people on the path and not judge them by what we see or what their YouTube channel names are or whatever they say, call themselves. Listen to their words and see if their words resonate with you, and if their words resonate with you, those are people that you want to spiritually link with, because we need all the power that we can get, and you don't want to automatically count people out because they're tearing up the Bible or whatever it is that they're doing that you don't like. You don't want to automatically count those people out. Listen to what they're saying. See if they're saying the same thing that you're saying, but just from a different perspective. Because like I also said, every every tribe in the kingdom is not going to be the tribe that's the magicians. You have a magician tribe, you have a builder tribe, you have a mindfulness, a knowledge tribe. Every tribe is different, so don't judge someone else's tribe by your tribe, the people that you group with. Look at everybody separately and say, look, these people look different from me. They act different from me. They don't call him Yahweh Shai or Yahweh or the Most High or whatever. Except for the Christians, not the Christians, not those people. They're not on the same page. I'm talking about the ones who are on the same page. Those they are not on the same page. They are waiting for the system to come back the way that it was. They are living in an actual fantasy world. We're talking about the people who are not living in a fantasy world, who want the complete destruction of the system. Anybody who says this system has to be destroyed because it's not right, it's not righteous, it's they're whatever the case may be, those are the people who are of like mind with you in this particular situation, and therefore you want to just take a listen to them, just hear what they have to say and see if it's something that you can apply, because we have to be able to work together. It's not one tribe that can rule the whole kingdom. That's not even possible. It's a multitude of people working together. It's a whole planet that has to be ruled. How can one little small group on YouTube do it? It's not possible. It's going to be different tribes from different groups. So we should now start learning who the other tribes are, the ones who are saying this, talking the same way that we are, and who have the same goal. No matter what they call the Father, they have the same goal, with complete destruction of the system and the restoration of righteousness. And if those people who want the complete destruction of the system and restoration of righteousness, those are people we need to be spiritually linking with, so that when it's time, when the time comes, we know who our brethren are. Um, so let me see. Look, he says it like 7 times, I think. Hold on. let's see. He says, "My time is not yet come, but he that his that sent me." 16. Um, Oh, wait a minute. I want to point this out. Verse 17. If any man will do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether he be of God or whether I speak it of myself. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I was saying. The doctrine is a doctrine that is given. It's not in a book. I mean, people want to, it's not only in a book. There's so many other ways to get the universal laws. There's so many other ways to have access to them. And when you limit yourself by a book, you are causing you are really shutting off all the other ways that you could be learning information. So we want to just remember that, keep that in mind. Even Yahweh said that. All right, so that was one time. Let's see. Let's see. He says it once. To He said, I have done one work and ye all marvel. Good gracious. I'm sorry. There's two times, verse 29, three times, verse 33. Um, she says it three times. I am from him, he that sent me. Okay. Um, and I think it's interesting again that he says the Jews. John specifically calls them the Jews. I think that's just interesting. Okay. It's there's something with that. Let me see what else. I saw one thing. It's funny. Okay. So, um, Nicodemus is in this, right? And this verse 42, and 43, where he says, and 44, basically you see right here, because he didn't come from, he didn't fit the specific criteria that they were looking for, even though he secretly did fit this criteria, but because they couldn't prove right then and there that he fit the criteria that they were looking for, they discounted him. They said, oh well, we can't arrest him because he's not the one. We're looking for this one. And so again, this is just a reminder, something may not be perfect. That's why you're just supposed to give all and receive all, and sort it out later whether it's what you need or don't need. If somebody is giving something to you, receive it. Give glory to the Most High, and then figure out if it's the right one or not. Because these people literally had Yahushua in their hands, and they hated Yahushua, and yet they did not take him when they had him because he didn't fit the exact criteria, right? And then you have Nicodemus here, which is one of my favorite little characters in the Bible, who is like totally overlooked. But Nicodemus was one of them. So, that being said, this is why you have to use whoever comes to you. You can't automatically turn somebody down because they don't look like you. They don't look like a Israelite or whatever. You don't know. You don't know. And you don't know if they've converted. You don't know if they're cleaving. You don't know what. But guess what? Nicodemus is the one who threw them off the path. He said, he just said, don't we aren't we supposed to let somebody speak for themselves before we judge them? And that's a universal law. You have the right to defend yourself. And so it was Nicodemus who, it was one of them who said that, and so they had to go along with it. So that's why you allow the Most High to use whoever he's going to use to get the message across, because that person being used could be, it could be a tax collector, but it doesn't matter who it is. At the end of the day, it's who the Most High wants to use. And hopefully one day we'll get to talk about Nicodemus. And then he says, every man went to his own house. So, this is a very interesting chapter. This is not like the other three at all whatsoever. And I honestly had no idea it was going to be so different. So, um, To the spirits who are here with us, you're invited to go in peace. To my beloved viewers, you're invited to be at peace. And always remember, the Most High is your peace. Shalom.